Hi guys, it's Tweedledee here with another episode of the Complete Beginner's Guide to League of Legends. So this episode is called Getting Started in the Jungle. So there seems to be an idea out there amongst lower level players that because you don't have enough mastery points, you don't have tier 3 runes, that you can't actually jungle or you shouldn't actually jungle. But that's completely wrong. You can jungle. Just pick a sustained champion such as Fiddlesticks or Warwick and you can jungle from there. So for the purpose of this video, I've picked Fiddlesticks. I like to play Fiddlesticks. You can also carry with him and you can support with him, so he's a fun jungler to play and he really works on surprise attacks too. So he's a nice one. So with that being said, let's move on to the actual guide. Now I just want to highlight with the guide that it's just about how to survive the jungle basically, with no runes or masteries. I've picked no runes and I've got no masteries. I've just started as if I'm a level 1 account, but I do have Smite and I do have Flash. So I just want to make it clear that in this episode, I'm not going to go into in-depth tactics of the jungle or in-depth tactics of ganking. I basically want to just highlight how to get started in the jungle. And pretty much I'm going to be AFK farming in this, as if I'm not ganking any lanes. So use this video as a base to work from, how to survive, how to get going. And from that then you can start to tweak it and start to gank yourself and just see what happens. But pretty much with Fiddlesticks, what is the safest thing for you as lower level, low experienced jungler is to farm from level say 1 to 4, then recall, and after you do that recall, now take a look at the lanes, somewhere where you can gank, and if possible try one, see what happens. At this point in your time of playing League of Legends, it's about trying new things and see what happens. What are the results of doing these things? Should I do it the next time? Should I not do it the next time? Don't think of something as a complete fail, just think of it as something that didn't work this time. It might work another time, it mightn't, but if you fail at it, don't just write it off and go, oh my god, I hate this so much. Think positive from it. Take the fact that it didn't work, so something else might work. Go back to the drawing board, try and find out what you've done wrong, and try and improve from there. So onto our slide. For the purpose of this video, I have no runes or masteries. I've got masteries 0, 0, 0. So to highlight is this for my lower level player, I've got no runes or no masteries. This video is about getting started in the jungle. I show you how to survive 1 to 6 farming. That's what I've just explained previously already. So I'm not on about ganking lanes and that, I'm just literally showing you 1 to 6 farming. It is possible to jungle without your teammates' help. I'm showing you that if you don't get help at blue buff or red buff, whichever you start, it is still possible to do it and it's still possible to catch up very quickly. Take Smite and Flash as summoner spells. You have to have Smite and Flash as Fiddlesticks. With Fiddlesticks, start with Hunter's Machete, 3 health pots and 2 magic pots. That's the best idea start for you. So take the Hunter's Machete, it costs 300 gold, take 3 health pots, 2 magic pots, and for the beginning of it, get the yellow trinket. You can change it to the red trinket, say level 6 onwards. Your first spell to unlock has to be W, your drain. This lets you sustain. So by draining an enemy, you're regenerating your health. Take W first or you're going to be finished. You should be farming as much as possible. So farm. The whole purpose is, it's just you're not in lane, but you still need to farm. Go from camp to camp and get your creeps. Be precise and calculated about what you're doing. Don't wander aimlessly around the map. So don't wander around like an idiot. Be very precise about where you're going. I'm going to do wraiths. I'm going to do wolves. I'm going to get my mid the blue buff because he needs mana. I'm going to gank top. Don't get caught in between that, walking around doing nothing, sitting in the bush, losing out on XP and creeps and gold. If you gank, even burning a flash, exhaust, ultimate is successful. So just because you didn't get the kill or your teammate didn't get the kill, that doesn't mean that it was a wasted gank. If the enemy burns a flash, if the enemy burns an exhaust, a barrier, or they use their ultimate to escape, that's a successful gank. Move on, either go back at your creeps or go to another lane. For a look at Fiddlesticks jungle in actual gameplay, click the link at the end of this video. So at the end of this video, I'm going to put a link in to me playing ranked Fiddlesticks. It will give you an example of how to play Fiddlesticks in game, and it will show you where I'm ganking, what I'm doing. There's no real commentary on it because I was streaming at the time and I wasn't commentating. So there is chat in it, but you can see exactly how to play Fiddlesticks. It was a really good game and I think it's a fine example of how to play Fiddlesticks in the jungle. With that being said, I have a video clip here with commentary on it that I've done. We're going to move on to that right now. Okay, so your starting items are a Hunter's Machete, 3 health pots, 2 mana pots. When the blue buff first spawns, use your drain on it instantly. Notice how much damage he does and the 2 creeps that are there beside him also. You're going to use your drains again and again until he's down to sufficient health where you can use your smite. Once his health is low enough, I think it's 380 it starts with, then you use your smite as you've seen here. After that, you want to clear these 2 minions and then put a point into your E. That's the spell that bounces around from minion to minion. This will also help you clear waves a lot quicker now from now on. So now you're going to ignore the white camp that's up to the left hand side. He's just too powerful at this stage, and move on to wolves. So hit the first wolf with your E. This will proc off them all, and then instantly hit him with your W to drain and start redraining your health while draining his health. So even if your smite was up, which it isn't, you're not going to use it here. You're going to want it for red buff. So clear the big guy and then proc the E again when it's up between the 2 small minions. So now you're going to cross mid lane, but your objective next camp is the Wraith camp. So my E is not up just yet, so I'm going to start drain on the big guy. As soon as that drain runs out, my E will be up, so I'm going to hit the big Wraith with an E. It bounces around all of the other minions, causes damage to them, it makes it a lot easier for me. Notice I don't use smite here because I want to keep it to use on red buff. I cleared the last 2 minions. I drained the very last one because I want that extra health to move on to red buff with. So he dies, and now we move on to red buff. So I hit red buff with an E to start him off, and then I walk into the bush just in case the enemy is there. At least you're covered from that. And then I begin to drain him. Red buff does a lot of damage, so you got to be careful here. Not only that you might have enough health that he actually executes you. You see I use a health pot there for some extra health. But also that you might get counter ganked and you might die here if an enemy arrives. So you've got to be careful. Look how vulnerable you are now with this health, and your spells are on cooldown. So with red buff cleared, the small minions cleared, on we go to the golems. So we're going to drain the big golem. That's what's available right now. If I had an E I would have used that on him first. Drain runs out, E straight away, it causes that damage between the 2 of them. And then drain on the small guy because the big guy was just about to die and I wanted to get maximum health off what was available to me. So from there we're going to work straight back up towards the Wraith camp and rinse it again. So E on the big guy and then drain him. Notice it's starting to do a little bit more damage now. So that's almost up. I don't use the smite. Not here. I actually should have used smite on that one. And I put a point into Q. You want to maximize Q and W with Fiddlesticks in the jungle. Maximize your W and then your Q second priority. Only put 1 point into E. That's not a big issue of a spell. So drain this guy. Big wolf. As soon as that drain runs out, gonna hit it with an E. Auto attack a little bit until the drain comes back up. You'll notice the blue buff is worn off. So this is where I start to use the mana pots. It gives you that extra mana just to clear these camps without recalling again. Sometimes if you haven't got that mana, you won't have got these camps cleared because you would have had to recall by now. So I've basically saved my smite for this big guy. He does so much damage, he needs to be smited. So look, my mana is gone, my blue buff's gone, my last mana pot's being used right now. I'm just going to drain this monster, and then I'm going to smite him as soon as his health is low enough. Then I'm going to move on. So from here I'm going to work back across the river again. You can see the Wraith camp has just come up. So that's where I'm making my way now. Down past wolves, down into mid lane. Waddle my way across as only Fiddlesticks can. Into the bush. So I eat a big Wraith and start draining him instantly. Now my mana is almost gone, so it's just about time to recall. Fiddlesticks is mana hungry. When he has no mana, you're in danger, that's for sure. Also, you can't deal damage because his auto attacks are so weak, as you can see here, even just against the Wraith camp. So once this camp is cleared, I've just got enough mana and health, and the smite has just come up, so I can take the wolves one more time before I recall. So it'll bring me to level 5, and I'll have roughly 1200 gold, which is a massive start for Fiddlesticks in the jungle. So again I attack the big camp here, but notice how the mana is running low, so I've got a drain, now I need to auto attack, and I'll smite him at the last second, which is going to bring me to level 5, and that gives me just enough mana to hit an E between these 2 minions, and then I recall in peace. So that's pretty much Fiddlesticks in the jungle from level 1 to 5 if you were to AFK farm, by which I mean you haven't ganked lanes, you've just managed to stay in your jungle and kill all the creeps. So from there you're going to buy your items in the shop, you're going to go back to the jungle, you're going to rinse and repeat, by which I mean you're going to clear the camps again as they come up. Get the blue buff for your mid laner if he has a mana champion, and then you're going to get to 6 yourself and start ganking hard with that ulti of yours. So the reason I haven't shown you all about ganks in this video is it's absolutely impossible for me to script all of that. It happens on the fly, it varies slightly from game to game. But the purpose of this was, I've got no masteries, I've got no runes, and people are saying that you can't jungle if you haven't got that. I'm showing you how you can survive it. Sometimes you have to AFK jungle, especially if you've got bad team comp and the team won't play properly. You need to AFK farm until level 6 and then carry your own game from there. Now, I'm not saying that this is the optimal way of playing the jungle, I'm just highlighting a way that you can at low levels, without masteries, without runes and without teamwork from your team. The jungle, it's basically like every role in LoL, it just takes time. It's a very dynamic role. You're constantly watching the map, you're constantly watching the mini-map, you're looking at your teammates, you're trying to get from camp to camp. You don't want to waste time. You don't want to waste time just going around this area and then half think about going top lane but don't go there and then miss out on a buff at the bottom. You want to be crisp and clean and direct about every single thing you do. Always have a purpose, don't just wander around aimlessly. If you want to put pressure on a lane, go to that lane, let your presence be known. If you don't get the kill, that's fine, that's no problem. If the enemy burns a flash, barrier or exhaust during a gank, that's a successful gank. It doesn't always have to be a kill to be successful. Sometimes they may also use an ultimate defensively to escape a gank, and that's a good gank. Say for instance Master Yi uses his ultimate to run away instead of engage with. Or perhaps Singed has used his ultimate to run away instead of engage with. Unlikely, but possible. And don't forget, please never ever chase Singed. So now you can see that I'm level 6 at 8 minutes into the game. And now Fiddlesticks has the real element of surprise, and always gank with surprise with Fiddles, especially with the ultimate like this. He's a surprise champion, and he creates havoc. Don't forget to aim for the highest priority target, use your fear on them, use your silence on them, and drain also during your ultimate. That's it for part 10 of the Complete Beginner's Guide for League of Legends. I hope to have helped you in some way to try and get you more sustained in the jungle, and make it more of a viable role for you to play. So the link is on the bottom right hand side of the screen there now, of me playing Fiddlesticks in the jungle in ranked play. If you watch this video, it should highlight and it should show you how to actually play Fiddlesticks in the jungle during live play, and it might give you some little tips and tricks that'll further you on or give you some ideas of your own. Thank you very much for watching, guys. If I've helped you in any way, or you like what you've seen, please hit that like button or subscribe. All the best for now, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye.